Hi everybody, it's great to see you again. Welcome, welcome. So for today we're going to be looking at analyzing adverts. So as we always do, let's have a look at some of the terms that will be helpful for us to know during the course of this lesson. Have a look at the screen with me. These are our terms and I want you to chat about them. You can work in small groups, you can work in pairs. I want you to look at and discuss what does persuade mean, and give examples. Hyperbole, alliteration, slogan, logo, and finally emotive language. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do that, and then when we come back we will share. Welcome back. Let's have a look at the terms together. So, what is persuade? Persuade really means to make someone do or believe in something. Hyperbole? Hyperbole really means exaggeration. What is alliteration? Alliteration is a repetition of a consonant at the beginning of adjacent words. What is slogan? Slogan is a memorable motto or phrase used in advertising. Let's put a T there. What is logo? Logo is a symbol or a small design associated with a product. And finally, what is emotive language? Emotive language is strong language used to evoke a particular emotion. Now, if we're analyzing adverts, there's a very useful technique for analyzing and for creating adverts. We call this AIDA. Okay, so if we look at AIDA, it's A-I-D-A, and each letter stands for something. Have a look here with me. Here we have AIDA. Okay, so A. A stands for attention. If you're creating an advert, the first thing you want to do is to grab the audience attention. So you might use color, or images, or words. Once you've caught the audience's attention, you want to maintain their interest, and that's where the I comes in. So you've got their attention. How do you hold the audience's in interest? So here you could create a need, all right? You would suggest you need to buy this because, or you could give some more detail just to keep the audience looking at the advert for a little bit longer. Then what you can do is you tap into their desire, okay? So if you tap into the audience's desire, perhaps to be popular, healthy, successful, beautiful, fun, adventurous, to win, to feel satisfied. And then finally, action. How do you get your audience to actually act? So you need to encourage the audience to buy or join or think about something. And some of the techniques used are buy one, get one free, or hurry while stocks last. Everything to get your audience to act and actually go and buy it. So that's about the audience. Now, who is our audience? When we're creating an advert or when we're analyzing an advert, we need to understand our audience, and we call this the target audience. So let's look at some things we need to think about when we discuss a target audience. So, who is a target audience, or what is target audience? To whom do you want to sell the product or communicate the information? All right, that is what you need to think about. And then you ask yourself, what are the demographics of my audience? What is their age, their gender, their nationality, their race, their lifestyle, their location? What does your audience need? What does your audience want? And if you answer all of those questions, what that really helps you to do is to shape a very powerful advert. So let's start practicing working through some adverts together. So I'm going to show you an advert, and what I want you to do is to discuss this. Question number 1, who is the target audience? Who do you think the target audience is? Question number 2, how does this advert capture your attention? Question number 3, how does this advert keep your interest? And finally, question number 4, which desire does this advert tap into? So if you look here, this is the advert that I want us to look at. Okay, so it's an advert for Volkswagen, and here you have your image. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to highlight this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 2 minutes to analyze this advert. So what I'll do is I'll leave the picture or the image on, and then I'll flick back to the questions and then back to the picture, just to give you a chance to reflect on the questions. So in 2 minutes, we'll look at the questions together. I'll see you back then. Welcome back. Let's have a look at the questions together. So the first question, who is the target audience for this advert? And you may have come up with many answers. Probably we would want to say car owners, definitely. Or people who enjoy off-road adventures. Okay, so make sure that your answers are very specific to the question and to the advert. How does this advert capture your attention? You would definitely say the big image of the key. Okay, that's quite striking. How does it keep your interest? Well, then you have the details of the key to look at. You have the landscape, for instance. All right. And then you also have the writing where it says turn on your adventure. And then finally, which desire does this advert tap into? Or perhaps your desire for adventure. Okay. So let's have a look at the next one. All right, I'm going to do the same questions, image, and then I'll flick back between them. So next one. These are the questions. Here. 1. Who is the target audience? 2. Same question. How does this advert capture your attention? 3. How does the advert keep your interest? 4. Which desire does this advert tap into? And then 5, because this is a McDonald's ad, what is McDonald's slogan? And here we have the advert. Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do the same exercise. Let's look through the questions together. Question number 1. Who is the target audience? You could say anything from teenagers to people on the go, perhaps people who like takeaways. Question 2, how does it capture your attention? Well, I suppose there you have the image of these huge burgers, plus you have the alliteration. All right. BBB. How does it keep your interest? Well, there it starts going into detail. All right, it gives the names of the different burgers. So it keeps the audience reading. Which desire does this advert tap into? We could say perhaps greed or instant gratification. And then what is the slogan? Well, the slogan we know. I'm loving it. All right, so how did we do with that? I think quite well. We're going to do our last one, and we're going to spend just a minute on this, and then we're going to wrap up the first section. All right, have a look here. These are the same questions. How does it capture your attention? How does it keep your interest? And finally, which desire does it tap into? And here is it. It's a Coca-Cola advert. So I'm going to see you in 1 minute. All right, let's have a look. How does this advert capture attention? We've got the color, bright color, and we've got the happy couple. How does it keep your interest? Well, then you'd start looking at the details. And then what desire? We would say friendship, popularity, perhaps even love. Okay, so that's it for the first segment. We're going to go to an ad break. When we come back, we're going to do some more practicing. Welcome back. So what we have now is some examples of questions that have been asked in tests and exams. So I want to go through them with you. Have a look at the first one. Here we have a picture of a bus, and the questions that go with it are: 1. What is being advertised on the bus? Have a look at the mark allocations. They will guide you in how much you say or how much you write. 2. What does the image on the bus suggest about the product? 2 marks. So you want to give 2 points there. 3. What is the name of the company that manufactures the product? That's just 1 mark. And 4, give 2 reasons why you think the advertisement on the bus might be effective. And there again you have 2 marks. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes. I'm going to flick between the image and the question so that you can discuss it, and then when we come back we will share. Let's have a look at the questions together. Question number 1. What is being advertised on the bus? Well, this is pretty easy. All right, dog food. Remember, you're going to be writing in full sentences. I'm just writing keywords. Question number 2. What does the image on the bus suggest about the product? Well, pretty much you could say it's irresistible to dogs. So delicious that dogs will run away with their owner. Okay, again, remember you're writing in full sentences. Question number 3, what is the name of the company that manufactures the product? This is a nice, easy question, just for 1 mark. And you would say it's Tinitos, not sold in South Africa. And then 4, give 2 reasons why you think this advertisement on the bus might be effective. And there, make sure that you're giving 2. So I would perhaps say it's effective because it can be easily seen, and perhaps also because it's quite humorous. All right, you have a man being dragged into a bus, so we might have a bit of a laugh there. Okay, so that's our first. Let's have a look at the second one, also from a past exam paper. So if you look on the screen here, It's an advert for ShopRite checkers, and we have an African treasure, and we have a mom and her son, and they are just leaving the supermarket. What are our questions? Well, the questions are going to be based on this text that is also beneath this advert. And what we have here is quality products at affordable prices in a clean and safe world-class shopping environment are but a few of the treasures that ShopRite has delivered to the millions of consumers who have made us the leading supermarket in Africa. ShopRite, lower prices you can trust always. And then they have a list of all the countries in which ShopRite checkers is. Let's have a look at the questions. Okay. Is the picture effective in advertising ShopRite? Give a reason for your answer, 2 marks. Remember, you can say yes or no, but as long as you justify it with a good explanation. 2, why are the words quality products written in capital letters? That's for 1 mark. 3, how will the following influence the reader? A, world-class shopping environment. B, lower prices that you can trust always. And finally, 4, question 4, why has the advertiser included names of 17 countries at the bottom of the advertisement? So for this advert, because it's a little bit longer, I'm going to give you 3 minutes, and again, I'll flick back and forth between the questions and the image. Welcome back. Let's look at the answers together. So we have our advert and we have our questions, and you're sitting in the exam room and you are writing full sentences. I, however, will just write keywords. So is a picture effective in advertising ShopRite? Give a reason for your answer. Obviously, this will be completely personal. I personally would say it is effective. So I would say it is effective. Why? Probably because it is showing a family supermarket. And we have a picture of a very happy mother and child leaving. All right, so I would say yes, it's effective. 2, why are the words quality products written in capital letters? Well, firstly, it's for 1 mark, but I'm going to give 2 points just to be safe. I would say it's easily seen, and also to emphasize the words. Emphasize the words. Question number 3. How will the following influence the reader? Okay, so A, we read that it's a world-class shopping environment, and that's for 2 marks. What does that really mean? It means that there's probably lots to buy. Write that, sorry. Lots to buy. And also there's like an international flavor. Let's say something like that. Okay. And then C, lower prices that you can trust always. Well, this obviously taps into our desire to save. Okay, so we can expect savings. Perhaps we can even say something like we will expect sales. Okay, and then the last question, why has the advertiser included the names of 17 countries at the bottom of the advertisement? Well, definitely to show popularity. All right, and I think to give evidence of its success. All right, so that was how we answered that question. Remember again, always look at the mark allocations, and that will guide you in terms of how much time to spend on each question. Let's have a look at another past question. And here we have an advert for Nescafe. All right, let's have a look at the questions asked. Very similar questions. 1, who is the target audience for this product? 1 mark. 2, what is the slogan for this product? Again, 1 mark. 3, explain why the advertiser has used the letters Z and N to advertise the product. You can see here we have 3 marks. All right, so you want to give 3, perhaps even 4 points to justify or answer this question. And then finally, the last question, do you think the advert is effective and why? And again, this is going to be completely up to you, but you absolutely need to substantiate. Don't forget that. All right, so I'm going to give you 2 minutes to go through that. I'll flick between the 2 and then we'll come back and we'll share. Welcome back. Let's have a look at some of the answers. We have our advert. I think it's quite effective, quite striking. So let's answer the questions. Who is the target audience for this product? Well, obviously you would say the target audience for this product is, okay, full sentence. You could say probably coffee drinkers. You might want to add people who work a lot, who need to stay awake. People who work a lot. What is the slogan for this product? Well, the slogan is nothing wakes you up. Wakes you up as Nescafe. And then the last question, second last question, explain why the advertiser has used the letters Z and N. Well, you'd say Z suggests somebody who's sleeping or snoring, somebody who's very tired and needs to be woken up. And the solution comes with an N, which suggests Nescafe. Okay, so Nescafe solves the problem. Okay, so you would put that into probably 2 sentences. And then the last one, do you think it's effective and why? Now this would be completely up to you. All right, the why part is the important part because that is where, like I said, you substantiate. So we're going to go to an ad break. When we come back, we're going to look at advertising campaigns. Welcome back. So in this section, we're going to have a look at advertising campaigns, also known as awareness campaigns. Some examples that I'm going to give you are, in fact, from past papers, so it'll be helpful. Let's have a look at the first example. So here we have it. This is from a past paper. And there's the advert. Okay, in fact, the advert is at the bottom of a swimming pool, painted on the bottom of a swimming pool. And the questions that follow are: question A, question number 1, what is the purpose of this advertisement? 2 marks. B, look at the logo, watch around water. What is significant about the shape of the logo? 2 marks. C, why is there a silhouette of an adult and a child in around? 1 mark. D, why is the question, where's your child, effective? 1 mark. Could probably also be 2. There's a lot to say about that. And finally, is the advert as a whole effective? Discuss. And this is where your opinion and your substantiation comes in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 2 minutes to answer that in pairs or in groups. Let's answer the questions together. We have a very shocking advert. And the first question really is, what is the purpose of this advertisement? I would say first and foremost is to shock the audience. And secondly, to raise awareness around pool safety, okay, and looking after your children around the pool. Okay, remember full sentences here. And can you see I've given 2 points here, so I would get my 2 marks, but only if I wrote it in a sentence. B, look at the logo, watch around water. What is significant about the shape of the logo? So the shape of the logo, if you can see, is the shape of an eye. Okay. So what is that saying? Watch your children. So you would say here it's significant because it's in the shape of an eye, and this links to the whole idea of watching. Why is there a silhouette of an adult and a child in a round? Well, you'd say it's the responsibility of the adult to look after the child, to make sure the adult knows where the child is. Why is the question, where's your child, so effective? Well, it's probably every parent's nightmare. Okay, every parent's nightmare. Or question, not knowing where their child is. So that would shock the parents or whoever out of complacency, so that they look after their children, particularly around water. And then finally, is the advert as a whole effective? This will be you. Okay, I would say absolutely, particularly because it is so shocking. Let's have a look at the next one. So the next example is also from a past paper. Okay, and the image is of a giraffe. So let's have a look a little bit more closely. Here we have our giraffe. And if I scroll down, the giraffe is eating leaves, which are in fact tins, made out of tins. And this is what the text says, okay, or the copy. We call the writing in an advert copy. The view improved since we picked up. Litter is one of South Africa's deadliest threats. We can stop this if we stop littering and start recycling. By doing this, we can save the planet that is on the brink of destruction. All right, and there's our logo, a little collector can guy. So what are the questions? Question 1, how does the advert catch your attention? 2 marks. 2, what is the purpose of the advert? 3, identify the emotive language used. Why has it been used? Remember, emotive language is strong language used to elicit some kind of emotion. Question number 4, explain the connection between the illustration and the slogan. The view improved since we picked up. And then finally, does Collector Can's logo work? All right, so I'm going to give you 2 minutes again. Discuss it in groups or between yourself and your partner. I hope that went well. So let's have a look at some of the questions together. We have our advert, we have our giraffe, and we have our copy, and we have our questions. How does this advert catch your attention? I would say the advert caught my attention because there was a giraffe. There's a picture of a giraffe eating cans. Okay, so that's pretty shocking. What is the purpose of the advert? Well, the purpose of the advert is probably to shock, to create awareness. All right, awareness around litter and awareness around recycling. Okay, and you imagine your teacher or examiner ticking all these points, right? Points that again, remember, are in a sentence. Identify a emotive language used and why has it been used. So you would begin the emotive language used in this advert, and then you would put in inverted commas because you're quoting. So what we'd have the word deadliest, and we would also have the word destruction. Okay, powerful words. And why? Why have they been used? Again, probably to show the potential harm, to emphasize the potential harm that litter can do. And then question number 4, explain the connection between the illustration and the slogan. The view improved since we picked up. Probably once the cans have been picked up, the view of the giraffe eating the cans will have changed to the giraffe eating actual leaves, which is great. And then finally, does collect the cans logo work? Now this is up to you, all right? And remember, you would just need to justify it. All right, so that's questions based on that advert. We're going to go on to another one. You can see we're doing lots and lots of practicing so that when you are in the testing situation, you're going to be doing really, really well. Okay, so let's have a look. Here we have a picture of a boy, young man, smoking, and the smoke makes a particular shape. And here we have kill a cigarette and save a life, yours. So that's our image. And the questions related to the image. Question number 1, how does the advert catch your attention? What is the purpose of the advert? Explain the connection between the illustration and the slogan, kill a cigarette and save a life, yours. And finally, do you think this advert is effective? And I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do that, and I'll flick between the picture and the questions. Let's answer the questions together. So we have our advert and we have the questions. Question number 1, How does the advert catch your attention? Well, you could say it's a very shocking image, all right, really depicting somebody who is, in essence, committing suicide. Question number 2. What is the purpose? Let's just change that there. What is the purpose of the advert? Raise awareness around the dangers of smoking. Remember, be specific. Don't just say it to raise awareness. Say raise awareness around the dangers of smoking. Always link your answers very clearly back to the question and to the advert. And then question number 4, explain the connection between the illustration. Well, basically, we've got the contrast between kill and save and life, which is essentially saying if you kill a cigarette, you will save your life, yours. Okay, and then what really would be happening would we would be removing the smoke, which indicates the suicide. So you would explain that. And then finally, do you think it's effective? Discuss. Now that's going to be up to you, all right? And remember to substantiate. We've got time for one more, but not for you to do the exercise. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through it and discuss. So let's have a look at the last example of an advertising campaign. Okay, so here we have a picture. We have 2 children. We have one who's obviously carrying a gun and another who's carrying a Kinder egg. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but these nice chocolate eggs which have been banned in America, I think as a result of nut allergies. So what do we have here? One child is holding something that has been banned in America to protect them. Guess which one? Okay, and the massive irony in here is that this is the one that's been banned as opposed to the gun. Okay, which is this is a very interesting ad campaign. And we have our questions. How does it capture your attention? Well, obviously, probably the image of the girl holding a gun is very shocking. And then the contrast between the Kinder Joy egg and the gun. What is the purpose of this advert? Again, raise awareness, look at anti-gun policies perhaps. What is the connection between the illustration? Well, obviously we have the irony, all right? What's been banned is actually a Kinder egg. And finally, do you think it's effective? Well, again, that's up to you. So I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. I love advertising. I find it very interesting. And what I hope this does, it gives you the skills to tackle your exams, tackle your tests, and also to enjoy advertising generally as you go out into the world. I'll see you back next time.